All right, guys, so I just kind of wanted to talk about the dark cloud that is going to be over Oakland the next 2 years, as it looks like the A's will be in the Coliseum throughout the 2024 season, which, in my opinion, could go one of two ways when we project how this franchise is going to do moving to the Vegas minor league park and then into their own stadium in 2027 in Vegas. But the MLB, I think it's super important that they really encourage Oakland and their owner to really go out this offseason. Obviously, we know they're terrible this year. They're very likely going to have the worst record in the MLB, maybe the second worst, depending on how bad the Nationals are. But they're probably going to lose 106 games or somewhere around there. Maybe they'll get a top 2 or top 3 pick, get someone that they can build around as they transition and move to Vegas. But really, this is a situation, the last year in Oakland, if 2024 is the last year, and we're going to get to that right now, I want to quickly talk about a recent ESPN article. It says, what is the timeline for this move? And the Nevada legislature session ends in July. If the A's and the government can strike a public-private partnership, the next step will be for the A's to file for relocation with MLB. If the commissioner's office approves, which he will, the A's will need a vote by owners for the move. If all of this gets done before January, the team can break ground on the new stadium by next year in 2024. And the plan right now is to open the new stadium in 2027. And then it says, of course, the lease for Oakland is up after 2024. So even if all goes according to plan, where they'll play in 2025 is currently unclear. And then it talks about possibly using the AAA, one of the nice newer AAA ballparks that I discussed a few days ago, the Las Vegas ballpark, for home games starting in 2025. There was also kind of a rumor that maybe they would use Oracle Park. I don't see that happening personally. To me, it's a perfect kind of way into Vegas where, you're relocating, very similar to the Chargers, kind of also similar to the Rams going to the Coliseum, waiting for SoFi to get done. That's basically what this would be. But, there are a lot of similarities with the Chargers move because they played at a very small soccer stadium that sat 20,000. This AAA stadium sits 10K, but the real important factor is it is new. It opened in 2019, so it's not like there's tons of renovations that need to be done. It has the biggest scoreboard in minor league baseball, so there is a big benefit to playing your home games at that AAA park and really getting fans acclimated to the new Vegas MLB team there. But guys, I do want to talk about what's going on with Oakland. They're going to have to finish this season. The attendance is going to be terrible. The team is, I would say they're going to lose 106, 107 games. What happens next year, right? Because this could go one or two ways. It could get even more ugly next year. They could deploy an even crazier tanking strategy and just say, listen, we want as many top picks as possible. But that is a little bit harder now with the MLB implementing a lottery. If Oakland finishes with the worst record this year, they will not have a chance to pick with inside the top 3 next year. I believe that's how that works for the MLB lottery odds. They're very strict. So if you are Rob Manfred, is there some type of, hey buddy, we get your team moved, you're all happy, I get it, but listen, you have to spend some money on at least some veteran players to try and give the Oakland fans one final year of a send-off and not make this thing really ugly to where you lose another 100 games, your attendance is 2,000, no one wants to show up. This could get next level bad for the MLB, and it could become a total dungeon. I mean, the Coliseum already is a dungeon as it is, but can you imagine the lack of morale and support in Oakland if they continue to just have the lowest payroll, just be completely uncompetitive. We know how this year is going to turn out, but what do they do in the offseason? It's like, you got your wish. The team is moving. Now at least try and win some games so this isn't a total joke, but we will have to see what ends up happening there when it comes to the A's, and if they plan on actually trying next year. They could just decide to tank both of these years, get as many, upper level draft picks as possible, and move on from there. The problem is they're really not going to have, number one, they don't have that good of a farm system. Number two, they're really not going to be able to trade very many players at the deadline because just no one has value. But it's not like there's a heck of a lot to work with when it comes to the A's current roster, and trading some of these players for prospects and replenishing your farm system. You just don't have anyone to trade. You don't have anyone good. So this is a very unique situation with Oakland. They're setting all kind of, horrible run differential records. I'm honestly getting a little bit annoyed with people tweeting out things about the A's for clout, like all these MLB influencers. They just won't shut up about how bad the A's are. Listen, we get the A's are terrible. You don't have to tell us every day. We already know. But yeah, I just think it's a situation. If I was the general manager of the A's, there's just nothing you can do at this point. Number one, they got swindled in that Sean Murphy trade, and everyone knew it. I have no clue what they were thinking. There had to have been better offers on the table. My goodness. But listen, either way, I do know there's another update that I saw from something about Vegas signing a lease or something. The A's reach agreement with Southern Nevada building union for Vegas ballpark. And according to this article, this is from the Fox 5 local Las Vegas news station. This came out this morning at around 9. What is that? Mountain time zone or something, I'm not sure, but either way, it says that the ballpark's going to cost $1.5 billion and it will seat 30,000 people. I do think if the capacity is 30K, there is certainly going to be standing room to where they can at least expand it to 35K. But yes, they are going to go with the lower capacity because you just don't need 40,000 people in an MLB stadium unless you're like St. Louis or New York or something like that where you've got a crazy population. When it comes to Vegas and their attendance, I would say right now it's very hard to predict the attendance that Vegas is going to be getting. Definitely it should be better than Oakland. It's obviously going to be better than Oakland. If Oakland would have gotten a new stadium, their attendance would have improved. A lot of Oakland's problem was the Coliseum. Not all of it, but a lot of it. So their attendance is going to improve significantly, especially just with a new team in general. But are they going to be able to draw 28,000 every night if they do have a bad team in Vegas? I don't know. It's very hard to predict MLB attendance because I know their NHL team has done well. The Golden Knights, they've won a lot, but the capacity for NHL stadiums or arenas is a lot smaller. It's like 20K. And with the MLB, they have 81 home games. It's just completely different. There's so many more. It's hard to really judge the attendance, but I do think the tourism is going to help significantly. I do think the casino aspect of it is going to help a lot, and they should just get foot traffic, walk up, at least I would say a few thousand most nights, especially during the summer, especially with the stadium very likely costing $1.5 billion. That means it's going to be a retractable roof. I would be shocked if it wasn't. If it's going to cost $1.5 billion, you're going to need a roof on it. That's just, otherwise it would be just too expensive. But the overall thing I just wanted to talk about, it's like, what is the speculation right now on how they're going to handle this lame duck 2-year situation? This year is completely scrapped. It is so sad. Next year, do they say, screw it, we're just going to tank again and try and get as many top young picks and, prospects for the Vegas move? Or does the MLB say, look, at least sign some good veteran players to 1 or 2 year deals so you can send the Oakland fans off with maybe, it doesn't have to be a playoff team, but a team that can at least compete in the division. And then I saw this article. I'm not sure what this dude is talking about, The Oakland A's are moving to Vegas. Could the Yankees be next? For MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred, everything, including your favorite team, has a price. I know people hate Manfred, but isn't this a little bit next level? Like, this Oakland situation, it's been over a decade they've been trying to get a new stadium in Oakland, and it just hasn't worked. And like, it's not like the MLB is this evil demon who is just taking the A's away. I mean, the NFL just did it like 5 years ago. Like, they did it even before the MLB, so I just think this article is kind of weird that they would say that. Oh, it's like everything has a price. No, I mean, they've tried literally 10 different stadium ideas. They haven't been able to do it, and it looks like right now, maybe it's because Tampa Bay's playing well, but it looks like Tampa Bay's probably going to stay put and get a new stadium that is a little bit better in terms of access to games outside of St. Petersburg. So, just kind of a weird article. It's like, dude, the NFL just did this 5 years ago. If you think that the MLB is terrible for relocating the A's, look at the NFL, what they did to San Diego, St. Louis, Oakland. I mean, like, it's just weird. But either way, guys, I just wanted to discuss kind of the current dark cloud that is over Oakland for the next 2 years. How will they handle this? Will there be, if you are Rob Manfred, do you say, listen, you need to try and win some games next year, otherwise it's going to get really ugly. We can't have a de facto minor league team for 2 seasons. You got your move, you're getting your money, you're getting your new stadium, at least sign some free agents, bump up the payroll. It looks terrible when a team is this uncompetitive. The run differential is historically bad. It's just pathetic. So we'll have to see what they end up doing, but it does look like it's going to be a pretty dire situation in Oakland through the end of this season and in 2024 as well before the lease is up. So guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.